Okay, I'm driving out of Payson. I'm gonna flip the camera. Yeah, it's 87. So I imagine it would be hotter a bit if they hadn't gotten rain. I can also feel the system heating and drying up. I can also see it's just massive and beautiful. I did not have a chance to scope a site in town, which I think would be really smart. So I've got a little homework to do tonight. It's going to be kind of hard to probably find a public place to water on a Sunday. So tomorrow I'll just focus on the up on the mountain where I'm going now. So I'm going about 25 miles due east of this town, and that's where I want to be, close to Payson, but on the Kingston side of Payson, not on the Flagstaff side. So I've got that because it positions me well to send moisture from either direction towards Flagstaff, and I have, of course, the enormous resource of that forest. So, and it's 7 acres. I just need to look around a good bit and kind of get a plan going tomorrow for up there. And this is the conclusion that, thinking out loud, it's pretty dry, huh? They're pulling out tree stumps still. It's like the old days. Man, how foolish we are. Anyway, yeah, I'll get going tomorrow and kind of see how that feels. The idea of just a pinball machine up there on top of the mountain where life is easy. If I can stay put, get a lot more other things done in addition to watering, just by using the look at the Herfer on top of that adult cabaret sign. Anyway, but what I'm trying to say is, if I hub up there, where will it go is the question. I'm not really trying to get Payson green, I'm trying to get the moisture moving, so I'm going to think of it in those terms. Figure it out. Okay, I'm about 11 miles from my site or my turnoff, I'm not sure. It's 5 miles up the mountain, believe it or not. But you can see intermittently between there's this road on either side of the forest here. Of course, now that I've got the camera out, it's gone away. But anyway, there was a giant missing bit of forest up there with just young regrowth, really short, maybe 5 feet tall, 3 feet tall, and a bunch of, remaining little sticks. So it looked to me like there had been forest fire pretty recently, pretty devastatingly, but now we are back into a very healthy looking.
In about 10 miles, turn right.
So I don't know, just taking stock. It is remarkable that everything is the same species out here in the forest. That's a really, I wonder if that's, natural or some sort of result of our interruptions. Wow. It's hard to see in this camera, but man, that's a lot of forest. The 5th largest national forest is revealing itself. Coming down this mountain. Let's see, what yesterday, was driving through miles of emptiness between mountains. This is now driving through miles of forest between mountains. Long, tall, 80-foot, 100-foot tall pine tree forest. Goes on and on. Back inside of the forest now. There's some other kind of tree here, but 2, 3, maybe 3 other varieties. There's something, that's a vine. So that thing might be a different type of pine and an oak tree, and then a waxy thing, or like a cedar wax or whatever, or a mesquite, something like that might be what we see. Again, I'm really blown away. We're in Arizona, and it's nice up here in this forest. 5-mile road that we take to get into the site. It's fascinating. Who knew? Most importantly, okay, so this is the state of the forest. They haven't changed the sign. And it feels moister for sure here. last night's rain were my rain, well, could have been, but if it were definitely me here, blah, 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 I would have been thrilled with the way it came in. You can still see mud. You know, the water did not come too hard here either. So they're not in very high fire damage today, but we might be again in a few days, perhaps. I would assume, because that's how it kind of is in Texas. Usually after a rain, you have like a rest day, which is what today feels like, and then it starts drying out again. And by day 4, it's almost as if the ecosystem has lost its excess water, and now it's positioning to try and pull more water in my experience. And then if it doesn't have enough water, it has to wait. If it does as it wishes. That seems to be consistent so far. Even though it doesn't sound like science, it's observation. And most recently, the Kingston rain is an enormous example of that. But certainly the Austin drought breakers of 2023 both demonstrated that strongly, and Austin waterings since then. So some big old mighty trees here though. Okay, quick log for myself here. This is just such a great place. Now I'm outside of Payson, Arizona, up in the mountains of the Tonto National Forest, about 20 or 25 miles away from Payson, to the due east of Payson, which is a great location. And the sky above is starting to break open. It's been really amazing because there was rain here when I arrived last night. It was starting to fall. It fell really nicely. No rain today, but the breezes have been reminiscent of the breezes in Kingston, and the air as well. You can see by looking at this big, beautiful mama here, grandmama, the bark is actually kind of wet already. It's actually moistish. So yeah, I mean, when I start tomorrow, it's like I'll be starting on, part 3 in a way. The system is already cool and moist up here, and that's unusual. Down in Payson, it was drier, but it was still moist. That's a nice sound. And it seems like rain is going to fall. It seems like it's percolating around the area. Norm was telling me it could even come tonight. I don't think it's in the forecast. It hasn't been in the forecast today, but it seems like we're going to be able to catalyze something. And I'm just saying that from the way my skin feels, and kind of logic so far, the consistency stuff. But yeah, I'll get started tomorrow, and it should be a little bit drier by the time I start, and then build it back up, and we'll just see where we go. Got low thunder off in the distance, and then opening skies again over here. Let me get my compass out and see where I am. All right, it's about 7:18, and we just have a little bit of rain here, which is so amazing. So I'm going to be watering in an environment that has been incredibly dry, but is percolating. Maybe we'll get more rainstorm tonight, like last night, or maybe it'll just kind of hold on and build from there. So since I've rented the room, I'm gonna see this through. Unless it really, I'm right over there as I say that. I think, well, that looks like real rain for days coming in. But anyway, we'll find out. Find out tomorrow. Glad to be here. Dave and Cindy are just awesome people. And this is the remaining homestead from the old days here. It's just it's another blessing. All right. These 3 original cabins from the homestead that was put here over 100 years ago have been maintained by Dave and Cindy. They're really something special, man. What an amazing place to land in. I'm so happy and can't believe it. Wow, wow, wow.